Let's do some business now. Government says it has refinanced 8 billion cedis out of the 10 billion cedis energy sector legacy debt inherited from the previous government. According to government, the refinancing has been made possible due to the amendment of the Energy Sector Levy Act, ESLA, into a special purpose vehicle, ESLA PLC, to issue long-term bonds backed by ESLA receivables. Per government, over the last 4 years, ESLA PLC successfully refinanced debts in excess of 8 billion cedis under the program. Now, out of this, about 1,870.3 million cedis was settled in cash to creditors, while the remaining 6,186.1 million was covered by debt swaps, said government. According to government, also, the performance of the energy sector levies was adversely impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. As expected, receipts from electricity levies were not realized due to a slowdown in business activity at the onset of the pandemic, coupled with lower recovery of electricity bills from households and businesses severely hit by the pandemic. Now, we'll get more information on this as we speak to an energy analyst, Mr. Kojo Poku. Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for joining us.
All right, good afternoon. How are you? And good afternoon to your viewers.
We're doing very well. Thanks for asking. So what does this development mean for the energy sector?
Well, it's a bit confusing when the government put these figures out there because what we have seen, the ESLA, yes, paid up a chunk of the energy sector debt mid-2018. But guess what? The ESLA, the energy sector debt, which had reoccurred between what normally was called the legacy debt, was about $2.6 billion by mid-2018. Half of that was paid off with the ESLA PLC. Now, by the end of 2018, another 1.4 billion has been added. So it gets a bit confusing when the government says they paid off this and is good for the sector. One of the things that some of us have always said is that the only way the government can claim success is that if we stop the accumulation of debt. Unless you stop the accumulation, anytime you move one step forward, you'll be taking 2 steps backwards, because by mid-2018, we paid $1.3 billion. By the end of 2018, we've added $1.4 billion. So you are back to where you started. So the debt, though we've now gone and added another 20 pesos to the existing 49 pesos, making it 69 pesos, more money coming into the ESLA kitty. It's a good thing. But what we are advising government is that measures urgently need to be put in place to stop the reoccurring of debt. If not, it's just 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards.
Right. With the take-or-pay contract still hanging around our neck, would you say the refinancing really will address the energy challenges in this country?
Well, the take-or-pay, as we all saw in the recent budget, there is another line of levies that has been introduced to address the take-or-pay financing. The take-or-pay really is not the problem. The problems which are reoccurring are the non-payment of the agency or inter-party debts, like the losses from NECG, the gas not being paid to VRA or Ghana Gas. So, you know, there is this song that everybody can now sing. ECG owes this person, Ghana Gas owes VRA, VRA owes Rico. You know, everybody now owes somebody. That debt, including government-owned indebtedness through state-owned enterprises not paying their bills, okay? Those debts keep increasing on the daily basis. So we've always said that prepaid meters are to be paid in all barracks, in all military installations, in hospitals, in every place that they need to raise money and pay their own electricity bill. The money should not be paid by government. So if government cannot put prepaid meters in hospitals, then we should make sure that there is a line for Ministry of Finance or Ministry of Health or how they intend to pay these bills. Those lines are in the budget.
Right.
If not, the non-payment of debt by state-owned enterprises and all these agencies really keeps the debt going up day on day.
Mr. Boko, lastly, before you leave us, what do you think ought to be done to reduce the cost of energy in Ghana?
Well, prudent and efficient running of the sector. Like I have been saying in the last 5 minutes, the debt keep piling up. And the only way we can sanitize we can increase all the levies we want. Unless we stop the piling up of debts, nobody can afford to be in that sector. And it is projected that we are looking at about 20 billion indebtedness, $20 billion indebtedness by 2023, which is very scary. So the prudent and efficient run of the sector is what will save the sector.
All right. Thank you very much.